I just built an AI automation system that produces high budget commercial videos in one click. First, I'll show you the real ads it just made, and then I'll show you how you can set this up and sell these ads to brands for thousands of dollars per project. Let's take a look at some of the examples. Alright, chill the fuck out, dude. Oh man, alright, let's do it. Come on. Now, yes, these ads are great and they look incredible, but I'm sure you're wondering, why should I really care about this? Well, the reason you should care is because brands will and do pay thousands of dollars for video production commercials just so they can get results like this. And this automation system only takes about 15 minutes to set up, and then it will virtually run on autopilot for you forever. So if you spend the next few minutes paying attention and mastering this VO3 automation, it might just make you thousands of dollars in the future. So I decided to come over to ChatGPT and I asked it, how much do Fortune 500 companies spend in production costs on video production for commercials? And it said around $4 billion globally in recent years is what Coca-Cola has spent. So that's one company. But if we scroll down, you can see that the average cost for big brands like this is $50 to $300K, and this is for a TV digital spot. And the high end can go all the way up to $500K to $2 million. And the event flagship campaigns, so like the Super Bowl and really big events, they can spend several $1 million on. So all that to basically tell you that companies are basically throwing money at video production because they know that that's the highest converting lever for sales. And if we come over to Upwork, which is basically a platform where freelancers can work with big brands and corporations to collaborate on work and projects with them, I came across this job that was posted. And if we take a look at the details, you can see that this company has a budget of $30,000 for someone to film a 30-second commercial. So if you learn how to create this automation and study the prompts that I'm going to give you at the end of this video, then you'll be in a position where you can charge brands thousands of dollars to create videos that only take you 15 minutes of your time. Because they're not paying you for the time you put in, they're paying you for the output of the video. And when you're using AI, AI can create a very good output, as we saw. So without further ado, let's dive right in and I'll show you how to create this workflow step by step. And you guys may have also noticed that I moved into the bottom right and I'm just a small circle, and that's basically so I can show you the canvas inside of N8N and not take up half the screen. So as I mentioned, the platform that we use to create this workflow is called N8N, and if you guys have never heard of it, it's one of the best no-code automation platforms, and it's very beginner friendly because it allows you to drag and drop elements to create complex AI agents and automations just like this one. The other reason I love N8N is because they have a very generous free trial, and I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I just love using the tool, so this is the tool I recommend to everybody. And my favorite part is that it also allows you to paste templates and full automation workflows in. And what I mean by this is if we go over to my community and we come over to the classroom tab, you can see this is the one we're working on right now, the VO3 system that generates $100,000 ads. So instead of building this entire workflow, what you can do is come over here and basically I just give details and explain it. But if we come all the way to the bottom, you see this little file right there. You can click that, download, and that's basically the code for this entire workflow. So if you come into N8N, create a new project, it'll be blank like this. All you'll have to do is click on these three dots in the top right, import from file, and then select the one that you just downloaded from the community, open, and now you have the workflow to use for yourself without having to put together a single node. So if you guys would rather have the copy and paste template and do it the easy way, I will leave a link to my community right in the video description. But other than that, I will show you guys step by step how to build out this workflow. So as you guys can see here, this is basically a 4-part workflow. And if we zoom in here, you can see part 1 is the user manually sets the creative direction for the commercial. So if we come into this field, you can see right here is where basically all the magic happens. This is where you put what type of commercial you're looking for. So you could say, create me an ad for Lucky Charms cereal. Create me a cool ad for Amazon. Create me a cool ad for a Louis Vuitton purse. Such things like that. And then if we come over here, part 2, we have an AI agent, and he is the master video prompter. What he's going to do is he's going to take this prompt right here, and he's going to read it, analyze it, and come up with a way better prompt based on all of these directions I gave him. And I will give you guys this exact prompt right here for the AI agent at the end of the video, so don't worry about that at all. And then he's going to feed that into VO3, and we're doing this by an HTTP request to Kai AI. And after that, we're going to grab that video, and then we can deliver it in many different ways. We can deliver it through a Gmail, Telegram message, we can update it on a Google Sheet, or we can even send it through Notion. So let's start with part 1. So to start this workflow, we used a manual trigger. So I'm going to delete this one just so I can place one below. So to start out, you're just going to want to click that plus and look up manual trigger. And this is how the workflow is going to be started. And all that means is basically when you click this button, the workflow will start. And then the second node we want to use is an edit field node. So you can look up edit, and it's this one right here. And this lets you modify, add, and remove item fields. So we're going to add 4 fields here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's going to be add description. This one's going to be aspect ratio, prompt inspiration, video generation model. There we go. So now the add description is basically going to change every time. Like I said, this is going to depend on what type of ad you're looking to create. Aspect ratio most of the time is going to be 16:9. The video generation model is going to be VO3_fast. And the prompt inspiration is going to also be interchangeable depending on the type of video you want. So there's a few different types you can do. You could do the exploding viral ads where it's like a logo and it blows up into like a purse. You could do the one like Amazon where all the items get dropped and they unroll. So if we come over to the community again and you come over to inspiration prompts, I've listed a few different ones that you can just come in here, copy and paste in there. And let's say you really like this one. All you do is copy this, and you're going to come over here and just paste that in there. And that's pretty much it for now. So we'll click out and we'll leave that just like this. So just like that, part 1 is already complete. So what we can do is copy this sticky note over, and I'm just going to paste it right here. So part 1 is now complete. For part 2, we're going to craft the perfect prompt for the video generation model using our master video prompter AI agent. So all you do to set this up is drag this node right over. You're going to look up AI and then pick AI agent. And then you're going to want to click define below, add option, system message, and then just click out for now. So before we do anything else to this AI agent, what I like to do is, let me zoom in a little to make this easier for you guys, is I like to add a chat model. You can choose any of these that you want. These are all LLMs. My favorite one to use is Claude, just because I've found they have the best, most accurate descriptions, and they're the best at content writing. So this is the one I would use. If you don't have yours set up yet, just click on create new credential, and it's going to ask for an API key. You can get that at your Claude console. I think it's Anthropic console. So I think just look up Anthropic Claude console, get your API key, and then you're just going to copy and paste it and set it up. So for the tool, I like to use the think tool, and this basically just lets the AI agent think through things on its own and have more intelligent outputs. And then now we can click inside this AI agent and we can rename it the master video prompter just to keep things organized. So master video prompter. There we go. And for the user message and the system message, I'm going to grab it from the other AI agent because it does have some code written in it. So I'm going to open this up, copy this, and I'm going to paste that right in here and turn that to expression. And if we read through it, you guys can pause this and copy this over if you want, but we're basically just passing over the description from the previous node, and we're passing through the video inspiration. That way the AI can read through it. And now for the system message, we're going to come over because this is where the most detail happens. And if we open this up, this took a little bit to come up with, but it was definitely well worth it because now we get very good results from the AI agent. So we'll copy that. We'll paste that right in here. And if we turn that to expression, we can open it up. And if we read through this, basically this is me giving the AI agent some direction and telling him what type of output I'm looking for. So I said, you're a specialist in crafting exceptional VO3 video generation prompts for cinematic, commercial, and brand advertising content. And then I just gave it some more details. Description, this is the type I want. Style, this is the style I'm looking for. The camera, that way it can come up with certain cinematic shot types and whatnot. Lighting, environment. You guys can read through if you want. You can pause this and copy all this over. But that's basically it. And now this AI agent is almost done. You just want to turn on that require specific output format. And then we have to connect an output parser. That way we can get the output in the way we want. And we're going to select the structured output parser. And then for this, we're just going to come up here, grab it from this one. We're going to copy that. And we can paste that right into here. And just like that, the master video prompter AI agent is now complete. So we're moving right along pretty quickly, as you guys can see. And we'll just copy this sticky note over just to keep things nice and organized. There we go. And now the next step is we're going to set up the video generation and get the final output. And then we're going to send that somewhere. That way we can have the final video. So now for this next step, now that we're done with part 2, is we're going to do an HTTP request. So you can just look up HTTP, and it's this first one right here. And what we're looking for is a website called Kai AI. And basically what Kai AI does is it allows us to call on APIs from typical image models and video models, but at a fraction of the cost. So if we were to use VO3 by going through Google, it would cost us like $130 a month. If we do it through Kai API, it's only like a little less than $1 per video, so it's extremely efficient, and I will leave a link to this in the description as well. I'm not affiliated with them in any way at all. I just really like their platform and it's easy to use. So we're going to be calling on this VO3 fast text to video model, and this does have the best outputs, and you could do it 16:9 or 9:16. And what I recommend every time you come to a page like this is to click on this API and read through the documentation. That way you kind of have an idea what's going on. When I first started learning about AI and all this stuff, I kind of ignored this, but as I've gotten into it and started reading through, I understand a lot more, and it really does help you. So when you learn how to read through this stuff, it just helps you a lot with troubleshooting and making workflows work and learning what other types of things you could do within a workflow. Now to configure this HTTP node, we could just click inside, and we're going to be doing a post request. And for the URL, I'm going to come up here to the previous one and just copy this over. You guys can pause if you want and copy it as well. And then if we come up here, you can see we're sending over some information. So you can see we're sending body, JSON, using the fields below. And we're going to use 1, 2, 3 different fields. So if we come in here, we're going to turn on send body using fields below, 1, 2, 3, and then we can just copy all that information from right up here. So prompt, aspect ratio, and model. We can do prompt. Let me make sure that these are case sensitive and accurate, because if they're not, then it will mess up the entire thing. So lowercase prompt, aspect ratio, and model. I think model might have to be lowercase. Yeah. Okay. And then for these values, I'm going to execute the previous node once we have it fully set up. So the final step in this is authentication. You want to get your API key from Kai AI or Key AI, however you pronounce it. So all you're going to do is generic header auth, and I have mine right here, but if you don't have yours, you're going to click on create new credential, and then you can come over to Kai AI, click on this API market tab, come over to API keys and create a new key, and then you'll be able to paste it and save it as your key. And if you guys aren't familiar with API keys, it's basically your password. That way Kai AI can communicate with N8N and it knows that you're the one communicating with it. Okay, so now in order to get the information that we need for these values in this HTTP request, we have to execute these nodes. So before we do that, let's say create an ad for a Lamborghini in the mountains. There we go. And now we can just click on this execute workflow. And he's going to come up with an amazing prompt for us. And then we can connect that to the HTTP request, move over the data, and then I'll show you the next steps from there. Okay, so now that all of these fields have executed, we can now wire this up and connect it to the post HTTP request. And now we can drag in the information. So for this prompt value, turn this to expression. We can grab this final prompt right here from the AI agent. And then for the aspect ratio and model, we can just open this edit fields and we'll drag in the aspect ratio as well as the video generation model right there. And just like that, we now have our post request fully set up, and we can actually click play now, execute this step. There we go. And now what I like to do is add a wait node. That way we give the video generation model some time to process all that information and create a high quality video. You could set this to something like 5 minutes, but I'd recommend setting it to about 10 minutes. I've found to be sufficient time for the model to come up with a really good video. So then we could just click execute and it will wait 10 minutes, and then we can grab the final video, and this is almost fully complete. So I'll be back in 10 minutes to show you guys the next steps. Okay, so the 10-minute wait node is now complete, and the final and most satisfying step is now here. So what we can do is drag this down, and we're going to do another HTTP request. So the URL is just going to be api.kaiai v01 record info. So it's basically the same as the other one, but instead of generate, we put record info. And then authentication, you can connect the same one, so generic header, and then come over to your Kai AI and it should be connected. Send query parameters, turn that on. For the name, task, capital ID, and then for the value, you just grab this task ID over here from the left, drag that in, and now when we execute this step, we should get our final video result. And let's see. So there we go, message success. If we scroll down, there should be a URL that we can open. Here it is. So if we open this up, it might download it, but let's see. Here we go. So this should be the video of a Lamborghini in the mountains opening up. It should be one of those crazy ads. So let's take a look. Pretty good. So now, as you can see, part 3 is now complete. We can copy that and we'll just paste that down here. And the final step in this entire workflow is delivering this wherever you want that final video to go. So you could leave it like this, and when it's done generating, you could just come down here and download it the way we did it, or you could deliver this to something like your email, you could deliver it to your Telegram, you could deliver it to a Google Sheet. The easiest one will probably be email, so I'll show you that for an example. And we're just going to put send a message, and just put your email, so I'll put mine. Subject, here's your video. And then the message, we can just drag over the URL. So here it is, result URL, drag that over, execute step. There we go, so we should have it. If I go over to my email now, let's take a look. Here's your video. We open it up, and there it is. So that's pretty much the entire workflow, guys. Copy that over. And you could see, as I said, deliver final video to yourself, your team, or your clients, because if you are working with a brand and you maybe signed a contract with them that you'll deliver maybe 5 videos like this per month for $1,000, you'd probably send this to them in a different way. Maybe you would send it through email. Maybe you would have a Google Sheet that you share with them and you update it once a week. Maybe you have a Slack account where you send them. You have somewhere that you're sending these, a Google Drive even. So if you guys like this video, be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below if you have any questions about this workflow, or if you're interested in me making a different workflow. And if you guys are serious about making money online with AI and learning, I do have the community. I will link it in the description. Like I said, only 6 more members can join at $39 a month, and then the price will go up to $79. You'll get access to all of these courses as well as downloadable templates at the bottom. So you can download every single template, and I even give you ways to make money with these templates. So super detailed, super high value. If you guys are interested, I will leave a link in the description. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.